England finish in the top two or not.
But I'm sorry to interrupt, but
thinking that England will beat Pakistan, whether it's by they're playing their natural game, but you do need one anchor person, and that anchor person is
one word answer. Do you think they will make it to the finals in this World Test Championship cycle?
No, I think it's really that attacking mindset that comes from the captain, and it also comes from the coach, and they are on the same hymn book. So for the Ashes, the Indian series, and then the next World Test Championship series, I think that's the key thing for England. You ask anybody here in England, which is the most important thing for you, that's how they.
World Test Championship, and we are continuing our show as well. It's time for the England team now. Surprise, surprise, they're yet to make it to the World Test Championship final or even close to the points table when it comes to the top two as well. I have somebody, as I always call upon when it comes to England, despite he being an Indian, it has to be somebody from England. Paji, how are you, first of all? It's been a long time since. First of all, how was the 100? Because that's one of the most entertaining leagues when it comes to at England, more than the Blast, to be honest. How was the 100? How are you, first of all?
Yes, Blast and the 100, they've been taking my time, but the 100 was really good. And I think taking, the month off with all the cricket in 1 month, it does feel have that IPL vibe, whereas the Blast, there's a couple of matches there, and then there's a couple of matches at the end. The 100 was really, really good, and I enjoyed it. It's a gimmick, but it's also exciting cricket. Any type of cricket is good, and the 100's lived up to it. And the final, I was gutted for the Saturday, so I had to watch the final. And then obviously Sardar Sam, he took it, man. He took it. So I was quite happy that the Oval Invincibles won.
Absolutely. And when it comes to the women's as well, were you happy with London Spirit winning it? Because Deepti Sharma, she hit the winning six out there.
Yeah, Deepti played for Birmingham Phoenix a few years back. So again, women's crowds pretty good. We're getting like 4,000, 5,000 for the women's games, which is very, very good. And it being on terrestrial TV. So I think that's the key of the 100. It's on our normal channels. So the audience for women's cricket will always grow. The men's one, most of it's on Sky Sports, but some of it does go on to the terrestrial TV. And the final was on the terrestrial TV. So it gets that audience there. And with the first day of football season, it also clashes with that. So I'm happy that the 100 is now over and we can get ready for the finals day for the Blast.
Absolutely. And the Premier League has started. But now, as you said so much about the 100, I just want to ask you something out of the box. 100 or the IPL?
IPL, 100% IPL. You can't beat the IPL. The crowds. And again, all the teams are competitive in the IPL. We've seen that time and time again. And again, the 100, they need to do something with having, the uncapped Indian players playing. I think that's going to be the key, and we'll see what happens with the sale of the 100 franchises and see what happens, because that's going to, I think a lot of the IPL teams will be snapping them up. So it'll be interesting. Watch this space time, and as soon as the Indian players can start playing in the 100, the better for me.
Okay, so fair enough, but we'll focus back now to red ball cricket from 100 balls cricket. Red ball cricket, England, we all know they have now turned out to be a baseball team, as we all know, since a lot of time now. They're playing their brand of cricket, which is absolutely entertaining to see, Paji. Starting with the points table now, we often do not see England going down there in the bottom half of the table, but number 7 is what I can see, or if I'm not right, number 7 is England, with a points percentage of 36%. Not ideal, I must tell you, Paji, but they still have quite a few series left. Do you still think there is an outside chance for them to make it up to the top? Potentially an outside chance to make it to the finals?
I don't think they'll get to the finals, but they'll make a fight if they can spoil things. Obviously, we expect them to beat Sri Lanka convincingly. We expect them probably to have a good test series against New Zealand. I think that will be quite crucial. I think if they can beat New Zealand, and then the big one in Pakistan, they play Pakistan as well. So if they can win those 3 series, maybe just lose one or the odd test match, but win the series, and then also beat India next year. I think that is going to be the key. If they want to spoil the party for India, winning in England, which I think definitely suits their style of play. So I think that would be interesting. And again, who's not going to forget the last series, when India beat England at Lord's, and then obviously the Edgbaston Test Series, which England won. So I think that Test Series will really, really have, where we England finish in the top 2 or not.
But I'm sorry to interrupt, but the Indian series the Indian series after the World Test Championship cycle of 2025. That doesn't count here. So
Okay, cool. Yeah.
England
So,
has, if I'll be coming to the schedule very soon. But first of all, you face Sri Lanka and Pakistan, who, if you look into the points table as well, Pakistan is above you. That's a point to be noted. Even Sri Lanka is above you. Even New Zealand is above you. Couple of them are away toss, Paji. Something you need
yeah.
to look into.
Yeah, tough games for both us and them. But I think England have the momentum. I think the West Indies series, we saw them play the brand of cricket. They've now established, the system that they want to play, the attacking cricket they want to play. But again, the injuries to Stokes will be in very, very a big miss for England against Sri Lanka, because obviously he gives you that acceleration right at
Yeah.
the end. Who's going to forget? Who's not going to
But
forget?
was it
The
really
last.
necessary for him? Was it really necessary for him to play the 100?
I think it's necessary for the TV audiences and the crowds to have Ben Stokes playing. And, the way he finished the Test series against the West Indies, we all wanted to watch him play in the 100, and, he's unfortunately got injured. But I think England have got now the template for the attacking cricket. They don't want to
Yeah.
go to the fifth day. They will finish the teams off quite quickly. So, again, bat sensibly, the way they do. And then, the bowling attack does look really, really good. Atkinson's just come in. They've lost Anderson, but I don't think Anderson would have played in the foreign test matches anyway. So I think England are
Yeah.
in good shape, and I think they can beat both Pakistan and beat Sri Lanka. And the New Zealand one will be a good test for them, because New Zealand is a tough test for any team.
Okay, as you're discussing about the schedule, I'll come back to here itself. First one, India versus England in the England series, 4-1. And then you move on to the England versus West Indies at home, 3-0. It was a clean sweep, to be honest. And now you come to Sri Lanka and Pakistan home series, New Zealand away series, Zimbabwe one off test series, which is away from home as well. First of all, two home series, straight swap, clean sweep you're expecting?
Obviously, beating Pakistan will be a difficult one, but I still think that will beat Sri Lanka. I just think, especially in England, I think England are very, very strong, and they've come off a good victory, so I'm kind of expecting them to beat Sri Lanka. All the matches in that match. Pakistan, you don't know what you get, but I still just think England's bowling and batting. As a package is much, much stronger than Pakistan's. I think England will score the runs and they will take the wickets. But can the Pakistan bowlers?
But you have on the opponent end Pakistan's bowling attack. That's very lethal. We have Shaheen Afridi, Naseem Shah back. That is a good bowling attack to be careful about when it comes to England
It's
conditions, swing bowling.
yeah, it's a good bowling attack, but I still think England will love it. They'll cherish it. The quicker they bowl, the quicker the runs will come. And I'm really thinking that England will beat Pakistan. Whether it's by the one test match or Pakistan win one test match, that could be there. But I still think the New Zealand one would probably be more difficult out of the three for me.
Okay, so New Zealand will be difficult just because it's an away tour. That's fair enough. But Zimbabwe, I think you should get the job done out there as well. Sri Lanka, Pakistan at home. Padi says it's not going to be difficult, but still, in case they won't lose one game, that will be catch-up cricket once again for England when it comes to the World Test Championship table as well. But let's focus on now moving on to the squad for England now, Paji, one by one. First of all, the opening pair, Zach Crawley, Ben Duckett, both in form. We saw Ben Duckett in the 100 as well. Joe Root, questions have come up. Can he break Sachin Tendulkar's runs?
He could. Again, Joe Root's been playing really, really well. In the West Indies series, it looked very difficult for him to get out, and I thought that is back to the old Joe Root. He's playing well. He's confident. He's scoring the runs under his belt. And the pressure seems to be off because Ben Duckett and Zach Crawley, if they play well, and then he can come into a situation where he doesn't have to take that risk at the start. And once he's in, he seems to be very, very in. So that'll be interesting. Obviously, Ollie Pope taking the captaincy from Ben Stokes. I think that's going to be an extra burden. And Ollie Pope's form doesn't seem to be there like Joe Root's is. So
he did not have a wonderful 100. It was a very poor 100. On the other hand, the vice captain, Harry Brook, he has been announced as the white captain for the series against Sri Lanka. So what about the template about England? Bat along with Joe Root. Joe Root stays at one and plays his own cricket, and the others keep attacking.
Yeah, I think that's it. They're playing their natural game, but you do need one anchor person, and that anchor person is Joe Root. I don't think now he's become to more understand his role within the team, and he doesn't really have to change as long as he's in form. He rotates the strike, stays in, make sure that once the shine of the new ball is gone, if he has to come in then, and then suddenly he'll be able to start playing well.
True that, but when it come about the wicket keeping duties as well, there is so many competition now. Johnny Best, who was initially the wicket keeper, has turned out to be a batsman now in the red ball cricket. Jamie Smith, talk us through about him as well. He's all of a sudden has taken the spot of Ben Foakes, and now he looks to be the man to be the regular one. Had a wonderful 100 as well for the Phoenix, but talk us through a little bit about what talent can he bring.
I think Jamie Smith, yeah, and we saw it in the West Indies series. He can open if they want to play the baseball way, and he can bat lower down, and he seems to be an excellent batter. Especially, he's all round the wicket. He can score the runs anywhere. Doesn't seem a real big weakness in his batting at the moment. And again, I think he fits the baseball template. Whereas, to be fair, Johnny Bairstow now is coming to the end of the Test career, so they are looking to the future as well. And that's why I think with this England team, this Test Championship, they probably are embedding a template for the next series of the Test Championship. I think that's where they will. You'll see England, with a younger squad. They've got rid of Broad. They're blooded Atkinson. They're blooded. Maybe even Jofra Archer comes back in the Test series, and then Mark Wood. They've got a bowling attack, which I think for the Ashes in Australia could be unplayable. So they're probably not looking at this World Test Championship cycle. They'll be looking at the next, and they'll be getting these younger players. And Jamie Smith will be very, very core to that.
And the next Ashes is at Australia, if I'm not mistaken, Paji.
Yes,
that will be something which will. So that will be having Mark Wood space, Jofra Archer space. Chris Wokes might be somebody who will be lethal as well with the swing he provides. What about Ollie Robinson? Has been there amongst the mix. Do you really think he's a strike bowler for England?
I think Ollie Robinson, I liked it when he first came in, but he doesn't seem to be in the template now. He very, very rarely gets injured quite a bit as well. So I think, Gus Atkinson has taken the spot. Mark Wood seems to be undroppable. I saw him in the last day against West Indies, and that's probably one of the best, spells of fast bowling I've seen for years. And there's one good thing with what you see when you watch Mark Wood now. His final stride, he used to slip over quite a bit. That's finished. So you can see he's got more control with his bowling now. He's comfortable.
The injury scare is not there when it comes to Mark Wood.
What do you say?
The injury scare is not there anymore for Mark Wood.
Yes, 100%. He now knows what his body is capable of. He can now control that quicker ball, and he's got a bit more variation. So again, he's a bit more difficult to read. He's just not the pace that he relies on now. He's actually got the skill, and he's worked it to wire through that. So Mark Wood for me is really, really pivotal for this. And I think if you look at it, Anderson is gone. Chris Wokes will fit into that swing bowling.
No Anderson,
option.
No Broad.
Yeah, but they've got Atkinson and they potentially have Archer back. So I think for England, it's looking good. But Ollie Robinson, for me, I think he's going to really, really struggle to get a spot.
Where is Sam Curran, Paji?
Sam Curran, unfortunately, I think he can only come in as an understudy for Ben Stokes if Ben Stokes doesn't play, because obviously he can give you at least 5 to 10 overs in a test match, which is good for the rotation and resting the players. And Sam Stokes as a batsman, I think he's getting better and better with the bat. He seems to be more comfortable with the bat than he is now with the ball. And we saw that with Punjab Kings last year. His batting performance definitely outperformed the way he batted than his bowling. So I think Sam Curran, probably you're looking at an understudy for Ben Stokes. It's probably the one position I'd expect Sam Curran to come in. But then you've also got Chris Wokes, who can bat well at test level as well.
Absolutely. There is so many talent. We are done with the seamers. Now comes to the spinners. Talent is there. Tom Hartley, left arm orthodox. Rehan Ahmed, I think lacks a little bit of line and length sometimes, but I think the front runner as of now is Shoaib Bashir.
100% Shoaib Bashir, who's come out of the blue, and he just seems to be very, very comfortable at the test level. He's taken 2 5-fifers, I think he's already taken, and against India as well. He's bowled well in India. So, I think he seems to be another confidence player. And again, Bazball, he trusts him. Stokes trusts him. And, I think he's going to be the premier spinner for England along Tom Hartley. So in, subcontinental conditions, you could play both of them. If not, you can rotate with them, because I think in England conditions, unless the test match comes into the 5th day, which is going to be very, very, very rare, unless India come here or Australia come here, I think all the other test matches will finish within 3 to 4 days. And therefore, you don't really need that second spinner.
Okay, so fair enough. In those conditions, you need one. You're going with Shoaib Bashir. But when it comes to leading run scorers for England in this cycle, Joe Root. He has to be amongst the top run scorers for England. Always successful. Zach Crawley, Ben Duggett, the opening pair is there as well. No Ben Stokes for the upcoming series against Sri Lanka, but hopefully he will be fit. But much needed runs are required from the bat of Ollie Pope.
Yeah, Ollie Pope with the captaincy, additional responsibility of the captaincy. And again, I still think, as I say, the bowling attack of Sri Lanka, although it looks on paper, I don't think the conditions will be a big issue for Sri Lanka. And England are in the zone. They're in the zone now, coming off from a very, very good win against West Indies. Again, a very dangerous team. One session they'll be really good, one session they'll be really bad. But England dealt with that. So I think Sri Lanka coming in quite cold. They've been playing these test matches out. But coming to England's a different test match. And against the Bazball, where they could possibly, a couple of good sessions from England could outbat Sri Lanka. I think that's the key thing, yeah. And they got the bowling attack. We've seen what the bowling attack can do. So I think England starters very, very strong favours. But Ollie Pope has to perform. But I think, on paper, Zach Crawley, Ben Duckett, Joe Root, that's very, very good. And they've got the contrast of, quick runs against somebody who can stay in. And if Joe Root plays that anchor role, I'm expecting more runs from Joe Root in this series.
More runs from the bat of Joe Root. That's amazing to hear when it comes to England spectators. But for the bowlers, I think he is a little bit underrated when it comes to success in bowling figures. Chris Wokes. We always talk about lethal pace. There you have Mark Wood is there as well. Shoaib Bashir. There's no Stuart Broad anymore. Gus Atkinson. I want to know a little bit about what Gus Atkinson provides with the red ball. And also, if you can sum it up, the rest of the bowlers.
Yeah, Gus Atkinson is that speed, isn't it? And ease of action, doesn't, can bowl consistently at a speed. Can clock 85, 86, 87. He can clock it really well. And again, it's the variation that he's got. He seems to be, well versed in county cricket, so he's got more variations. He's just not the piece. He's got the slower ball. He can swing it a bit if he needs to. But again, very, very good bowler. Now got that confidence. We're taking 7, 8 wickets. In certain matches, he's already taken a lot of wickets, so the pressure is off him. It's maintaining it, and these players probably will be tested more in Australia against quality batting, and India next year. I think that's where you get the real quality of these bowlers against the top quality. Sri Lanka, I think Gus Atkinson should be able to deal with that bowling attack. And again, Pakistan, that'll be a bit of a test for them. And then New Zealand is going to be a tough one as well. So
that is going to be very, very, very difficult. Like the New Zealand away tour, I think that's going to be the real challenge for England when it comes to that. Yes, Paji, you were saying something?
Yeah, and I say the spinners seem to be comfortable as well. So, and Wokes is the glue for this, because Wokes gives you that different thing, not relying on the pitch. He's got the skill, the wiliness. I say he's a wizard for a reason, and he can do that. And now he knows he's going to be playing. I think, again, this is where this England team is. They've got a squad, but again, the first 8 or 9 on the team sheet, who's going to be playing, and they are confident. Unless injuries come in, they know what they're going to be, what they're positioning, and the style of the play, which has taken at least, most of this World Test Championship cycle. And again, I think they're building up for the Ashes, the Indian series, and then the next World Test Championship series. I think that's the key thing for England. You ask anybody here in England, which is the most important thing for you, that's how they would rank it. They would rank it firstly, Ashes, secondly, beat India in England, and the third one would be obviously the World Test Championship.
Absolutely, that's true that every cricket nation does that, but England always are very, very passionate about these things. But when it comes to captaincy, this man has made the Test cricket of England a different way. We have always seen Alistair Cook, we have seen Andrew Strauss, Trescotting. Everyone had their own style of leadership. But talk us through what Ben Stokes and Brendan McCullum brings to the table when it comes to Test match cricket and their captaincy.
Well, you can see it with their style of play. They lead from the front. They lead attacking mindsets. I think they don't really want to play for any kind of draw. It's a win or it's a loss. And they will stay true to what they think. Is the best style of cricket for England. So I think it has an identity. English cricket now has the identity. They have the brash, the arrogance. No getting runs at high rate. They want to stick to that mantra. They want to also take the wickets using express pace, putting the team, bat first or bat second. It doesn't really matter. So I think it's really that attacking mindset that comes from the captain, and it also comes from the coach, and they are on the same hymn book. So really, really impressive. I didn't think it was going to work for us, but the mindset of cricket now, It is. The ECB are not too happy with these guys because they finished test matches in 3 days, and so the income for the income is going to be affected. But the audiences are there. We know when India come, 4 days or 5 days of the test matches will be full. Australia come 4 or 5 days or plus. Even West Indies for the 3 days, it was a maximum capacity of the crowds at Edgbaston and some of the other grounds. So
Yeah, nowadays I always see these top quality teams when they face test match doesn't go more than 4 days. Sometimes it gets ended in 3 days, 4 days to a maximum. Hardly when it comes to balanced side face each other, it goes to the fifth day. I won't be surprised if the series versus Sri Lanka ends in 3 or 4 days.
I don't see it going to day 5. I don't see it going to day 5. I think what will happen is England will win 3.5 days. I think England will wrap it up. If Sri Lanka play really well,
Correct.
4th day, last hour could be, but England like to have the day off on the 5th day. They'll win. That they should win. And but again, the only problem with this, and I think this is when England is bad, if they go to India, play in India, we saw that in the Indian Test match. If India pressure them or they're playing the 4th or 5th day in that Test match, they don't seem to be that ready. And Australia and England, India, those matches will go to the 4th or 5th day, and mentally that's in a different space. And can you maintain the attacking cricket for the 5 days? I think that's where England may fall down.
Absolutely, that's absolutely true. We will see that. But when it comes to England, they will continue their mindset. They will continue their mantra, as you said, about playing the baseball way they want to. Players to watch out for. Here are the 5 players I have taken, Paji. Zach Crawley, as we all discussed about him. Joe Root, Ben Stokes, Chris Wokes, and Mark Wood. My 5 players to watch out for. I wanted to have a Jofra Archer, but I don't know whether he's going to come back to the test side. I want to know about that as well from your end. But these 5 players, any changes from your end?
Zach Crawley or Ben Duckett, it doesn't make a difference. One of those, I've personally think Ben Duckett's coming into the form, and the Ben Duckett's the way he's scooping the ball, the way he's hitting the ball around the pitch. It's a very, very good partnership at the top. So probably would go Ben Duckett, and instead of Chris Wokes, I'd probably go Shoaib Bashir, because for me, that's one bowler I am really happy to see improve. England haven't had, a real gem of a young bowler, especially from the Asian subcontinent, coming and doing really well like he has been doing.
So when Jack Leach gets fit, do you still see Shoaib Bashir continuing in place of Jack Leach?
Yes, I think the management are 100% behind Shoaib Bashir. He'll be the frontline spinner. Tom Hartley and Jack Leach, that's probably what they'll fight for. And the only way England will play really 2 frontline spinners will be in the subcontinent.
Yeah. Okay, and what about this 5 players I have chosen? You've gone with Shoaib Bashir, you've gone with Ben Duckett, and the rest of the 3 stays the same. How important is Joe Root and Ben Stokes' experience in the side?
Joe Root, we've seen with the bat, they need an anchor. They need one batsman that's got the anchor. Ben Stokes not playing in this series against Sri Lanka. So I would probably start looking at Gus Atkinson as well, because he's breaking records with the amount of wickets he's taking. And again, I think England are doing what we did in the IPL. They're not booking all-rounders. Only one all-rounder, real all-rounder. All the rest is frontline bowlers and frontline batsmen. That's the way they want to play. And we can't argue against that. But again, the level of Test cricket at the moment, you've probably got 3 teams, that you've got to take really, really seriously. Australia, England, India. And the 4th team is South Africa within South Africa. And outside of South Africa, won't really count that. But, in South Africa, to beat South Africa, you really need a frontline bowling attack, and you need a really, very strong batting attack. So I think, Ben Stokes will be a big miss for England, because it's that attacking leading from the front, what they won't have. Let's see what Ollie Pope does as a captain. Can he fill that shoes? Because Ben Stokes' injury record hasn't been great, although it's been good at late. He can break down in any Test match. So do they have somebody who can come up and take his place, especially in the Ashes and the India series, which will come up?
Okay, fair enough. So this is the players to watch out for in general for England, and Paji has given his choices. What about the predicted playing 11, Paji? And that's where I want to come to you as well. This is in general neutral conditions predicted playing 11. I've gone with Zach Crawley, Ben Duckett without a doubt, Joe Root at number 3, Pope, Brook, and Ben Stokes at about 5, 6. Then you have Jamie Smith, Ollie Robinson, Shoaib Bashir, Mark Wood, Jofra Archer. Here are my 4 seamers. What are your changes? Are you going to go with No Ollie Robinson, Gus Atkinson, or any other changes you're going for?
Yeah, the only change I would make would be Ollie Robinson. Probably would be my third choice. I'd go for either Chris Wokes or Atkinson to take that spot. But all the rest of the team, as I said, from what we've said, that picks itself. So you've got 8 or 9 there. I think Ollie Robinson now is the third choice for me. When Jofra is fit, obviously, if Jofra stays fit, he gets into the team. Him and Mark Wood, hopefully the bowling in any.
Oh, that's lethal.
It's going to be absolutely.
That's a nightmare for the opposition.
That is.
That's absolutely nightmare for the
on
opposition.
bouncy tracks in Australia, it should be interesting.
Exactly.
So,
I was about to say in Australian conditions, they will be lethal as well. Though despite Australian players love space and bounce, but still I think that's very something to be noted for. Chris Wokes is something you're saying, not Ollie Robinson, fair enough. That makes batting a little bit easier because I wasn't going for Gus Atkinson to make it 4 bowlers on the trot, no batting match as much. That's the reason why a bowling all-rounder is there. That's pretty much done and dusted for the squad analysis of England in the World Test Championship. Paji, one word answer. Do you think they will make it to the finals in this World Test Championship cycle?
No, we've left it too late, and India and Australia are too far ahead.
Once again, India Australia for you.
Yeah, it'll be India Australia final for me, and again, I think I'm afraid it'd probably be an Australian victory because beating them in a one-off Test match, they seem to be.
Can I cut the video out here, please, Paji?
Yes, I'll be going to Lords this year, definitely. So hopefully, we won't see that.
Okay, fair enough. If India and Australia once again face, we will see that. But don't take audience, don't take this into account about what Sandy Paji said. Indians are always ready for it. This time, maybe we will take the revenge against Australia as well. Thank you so much, Paji. Thank you to all the viewers for watching this video. Done and dusted with England as well about the ICC World Test Championship 2023 and 2025 cycle. Sit back and don't forget to subscribe to Fifth Umpire. Press the bell icon as well. Thank you so much and bye-bye.